Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another RedLine Solutions educational video. This session covers the introduction to myproduce.com and was recorded on the 20th of January 2016. Today's session will be presented by our Director of Product Development, Carol Golsh, and our very own CEO, Todd Baggett. And here is the agenda. So a little bit about RedLine Solutions. We've been serving growers, shippers, and distributors in the produce market for the last 19 years with customers across the country and through Canada who handle over 550 million cartons per year. In December 2015, we were recognized by Food Logistics magazine within their top 100 software and technology providers list. And in 2014, we won the Frost & Sullivan Best Practices Award. RedLine has developed a comprehensive range of their own inventory, productivity, traceability, and compliance software. They provide consulting, installation, and support services and utilize hardware from leading manufacturers. So let me pass you on to Todd Baggett.
So without further ado, let's get into what is myproduce.com. So first and foremost, it is a web-based solution that is for managing compliance and inventory solutions. It's based on our award-winning software suite, and what we did is we knew that there was a lot of people who needed the functionality we had but couldn't afford the larger systems that we supply. So we took the best of those elements of those and we brought them down into myproduce.com. It's designed for grower shippers of any size, and it really has two main purposes: to save you money and to simplify your life. So let's look at the electronic aspects of myproduce.com. First of all, we have the packing and inventory management. We provide the labeling of product, either of bins as they're received, as cases as they are produced, and pallets as they are built. We do validated order fulfillment, and that means we're tracking where we're putting things away so we know where to get them from. And we generate reports that allow you to see a lot of good information about your business, have a snapshot of what's going on, as well as prepare you for recalls. Okay, so the other thing that we really do here is that we manage the full life cycle of a product within your facility, and that means from receiving, through packing and labeling, on into the inventory, and finally to shipment. And one of the best things is that your information is available and visible to you 24/7 wherever you are. It's securely held in a location for fast and easy access, and it supports you making informed decisions, avoiding errors that allow you to reduce waste and enable a more efficient operations. So now let's look at how it simplifies your day. So one of the things that we see on the challenges is that every operation has its own challenges, and when manual processes are used, there are often disconnects between these processes which can introduce errors. So let's look at the individual items here as well. So for receiving, one of the challenges that we see is manual forms take more time and are error prone. Not only can an error be made when you wrote down the information, but also later when it's keyed in. More importantly, that data is not available to others until that keyed entry happens or the paper packet is in their hands. As the season is going on and product is coming in peak season, it's not uncommon for trucks to get backed up waiting to be unloaded. And these delays can actually lead to your product being out in the elements, exposed to heat, and thereby reducing your shelf life. Also, the manual records limit the visibility of what has been received and where it is now. And all of this can lead to staff and driver frustration.
That's right, Todd. And what myproduce.com does in dealing with these challenges in receiving is basically to provide automation, speed, and accuracy. So as an example, with myproduce.com as a web-based system, you and your staff won't have to deal with manual forms any longer. You can either key your data into the system or use the power of barcode scanning to ensure absolute accuracy of data as it moves into the system. The benefit of this, of course, is that it speeds the trucks through your facility, and of course what that means is you're getting the produce into the facility quicker than ever before. Finally, you're ensured of electronic record keeping, whether it's for the receipt, the put away of the product, or the recording of the source lot.
Great, thanks, Carol. And now we'll look at the packing challenges. So probably one of the biggest challenges in packing is the correct identification of the source lots that you want to pack. There's often a chance for commingling of these source lots in their storage locations, and the communication of what's to be packed is often left to grease boards, clipboards, other manual forms that are not really highly visible to everybody who's involved in the process. All of this can make finding the bulk product of where it's stored in inventory difficult, as well as the order visibility and communications. Things like knowing what do you need to pack to get today's orders out, which all limit your visibility and also limit your visibility to what has been packed out for the day. The other challenge that we see in the packing is sometimes lost bin tags and unlabeled bins come in, and at that point you're not really knowing for sure which source lot it is tied to, so you're making your best guess and associate them with other items which have downstream repercussions.
Exactly, Todd. I think we could summarize that by saying, you know, it's really, with packing being the focus of many operations, it's all about visibility and accuracy. And myproduce.com does that and simplifies your work. First of all, by having recorded the source lots at the time of receiving, it's already in the system. Moreover, since we know what orders you have in place, we know exactly what you need to pack that day, and we can compare it to your on-hand inventory to provide automatic advice, rather than you having to do the math for yourself. Who wants to get up in the morning and do that math? Not me. Our system does the math for you to tell you what inventory you may be short of and automatically sets up the pack lot to enable you to get that project done. Moreover, everything, again, is recorded electronically, and what that means is online visibility to what's going on in your operation at every moment of the day.
Very good. So let's take a look now at the inventory challenges. So product locations are often left to tribal knowledge, and when I say that, I mean that these stock locations are not being recorded, or if they are being recorded, they're on a clipboard that's hanging by the door that does not always get updated. What this means is that it can actually be difficult for your workers to find the product, and the repercussion of that is that if the stock they're looking for is not easily accessible, they may just grab what is ready available for them rather than follow the proper rotation. The other thing that we see is, particularly during peak seasons, non-traditional storage is used, and we all know what that means. They're in the aisles, they're in the hallways, they're anywhere that you can put the product, and without knowing those locations, you're really tied to that tribal knowledge, and if someone is out for a day, you could be in big trouble. The other challenges that we see is that sometimes product is not labeled, and the visibility of sales is very limited, meaning they don't know for sure what's there, and so when they're making their commitments for what they can get shipped out that day, they're relying on a little bit of luck and a lot of hope. Last item here is that lost products slow the process, because if you're looking for product to ship, you're not getting it on the truck and you're causing delays. Over to you, Carol.
Thanks, Todd. As you can see from our diagram here, it's really, again, about that knowledge of your inventory and where it's at. By using the power of barcode labeling and scanning and having an accurate record in the system of every pallet, of every bin, myproduce.com simplifies the, as we like to say, the pursuit of shipments. No one likes to think that a truck is waiting at the dock. Everyone wants to think that all their forklift drivers are as productive as possible. And worst of all, no one wants to think that some product is lost somewhere in the depths of the warehouse going sour on you. With our system, you know exactly where every pallet is. And with our directed features, you know exactly which pallets your workers should be shipping in order to achieve correct rotation, and make the ultimate profit out of the product that you have on hand. Finally, again, the emphasis on electric record keeping. This is key to our system, giving everyone visibility at all times.
Very good. So let me turn to the fulfillment challenges. One of them is that with the product put away locations being inconsistent, sometimes pallets just mysteriously disappear. When that happens, product rotation suffers, and sometimes you need to either scrap or donate your product. Also, one of the challenges is when you can't find that product is that you're delaying those outbound trucks. We know it's here somewhere is a frequently heard thing in the cooler. And what this means is order fulfillment slows down, and sometimes you even have to substitute product just to get the truck out. The manual data entry at shipping is often a bottleneck as well, as people wait for those orders to be checked out, and again is subject to errors if that's not in a computerized system. Lastly, the result of this is that you have increased overtime, your shipments get delayed, and products get lost, and bottom line, profits are decreased.
And again, MyProduce is up to the challenge of dealing with your fulfillment issues. In myproduce.com, orders are visible at all times, and the fulfillment of orders is one of the primary features of the system. We not only know what product you have on hand, but we know exactly where the product is located, and so we're able to validate that the correct product is being fulfilled for the order, and even deal with the disposition aspects of product. You may be shipping something that's really not on the sales order, but perhaps you're doing something for charitable purposes, for example. You're able to track that in MyProduce as well. All of this is managed in an electronic shipping process, again using the power of barcoding systems for ensuring accuracy. And the electronic records are again available at anyone's fingertips who has access to the reports on the system.
Great. So,
and in summary, what we want to say about myproduce.com is to emphasize that it's easy to use and it's easy to manage. Unlike some systems that you may worry that you have to, somehow manage a lot of things within your operation, on this system you can access it from anywhere, anytime, whether you're on your PC at the office, perhaps at home on the sofa in the evening checking on production on a tablet, or out in the warehouse using a ruggedized Android device. Your information is secure and accessible at all times. Moreover, it's configurable. You and your workers have the choice of viewing the system in English or in Spanish, whether you're using it on a PC, on a tablet, or on a ruggedized device. Most importantly, no IT. This is a system that, because it's web-based and runs in the cloud, RedLine is responsible for all the IT aspects of keeping the software available to you. You won't need to have IT staff managing some server at your facility to ensure that the system is available to you.
Great. So returning again to that online dashboard is one of the key features of the product, and we can see it here. It really gives you a live snapshot of what's going on in your business. It allows you to plan your day looking at what do I want to pack today, what do I need to pack today, do I have enough inventory, what shipments have gone out, and how are my workers doing today. And I can even take a quick snapshot of comparing amount of work done by different workers. The key here, though, again, as Carol said, is visibility 24/7. If you need information, it's at your fingertips no matter where you are. So now let's turn to how it will save you money. So, really it kind of comes down to visibility is one of the key things. With visibility, it allows you to have better information that makes better informed decisions, and that is really key to your date. Also, we have a very intuitive and easy to use system that gives you those electronic records. I've often heard people say, I'm really concerned if my warehouse guys are going to be able to do this. Let me assure you they can. We've done this for 10 years, and we go with people sometimes who've never held a computer at all, and within a few days they are running like champions. The other thing is that our automated inventory management allows the system to recommend the best product for the order and help you maintain your FIFO, and it also, as I've mentioned before, allows you to speed up the loading process because you're not wasting time looking for product. So, How does it save us money on the receiving side? It really comes down to allowing us to receive the products faster, which gets it out of the heat quicker and allows us to extend the shelf life. And again, by labeling the product on inbound, it avoids any confusion about verifying the product as it's going through the processes later. It also saves you money by having the reduction in data entry time. You're not going to be keying in the order when it's time to do the shipment because you've already got it in the system. And lastly, once the data is in the system, again, you don't have to key it in later. So how does it save you money in packing? Really, the certainty of knowing which source lots were used in packing gives you the ability to have a more accurate pack out for your growers. By finding all of the source lots when you're packing your runs and are able to do complete runs, it allows you to avoid those costly short run cleanups. Also, by having accurate receiving records, we allow you to maintain your first in, first out shipments and stay in rotation. And lastly, by having accurate source and pack out records, you're able to save time when you're reconciling for your grower settlements. Okay, so how does it save us money in inventory? Well, as I've mentioned, one of the biggest things is to find the product and avoid delays. And that can be bulk, it can be finished, but again, avoiding delays by knowing exactly where the product is and having a barcode to scan to confirm it's the right product. The next thing is it allows you to set product holds for any number of reasons so it's not shipped, so product is not shipped. And that could be you've got it on a QA hold, it could be that you've got a specific customer that you're targeting that product for, it could be that you're conducting a mock recall. Again, by maintaining good product rotation, you can reduce your donation and waste. And less searching means less wear and tear on your forklifts and people. Okay, so how does MyProduce help us save money in fulfillment? Again, by eliminating shipping errors with validated order fulfillment. If someone goes to pull a product for an order and they scan it and it's not the right item, it tells them right then. It doesn't get loaded into the truck and have to be unloaded and reloaded later. As I've mentioned, by having the stock locations known, it reduces your load time. And again, the electronic shipping avoids the bottlenecks in the shipping office. By having the system check for errors, you don't need to have a manual order checker at the shipping dock. And lastly, you want to eliminate those chargebacks again from having incorrect shipments. Now, the last place I want to talk about is how it saves us money in the data retrieval. First of all, if you've ever had to look up an order packet and you've gone searching through the file folders, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. With our system, it's electronic. You quickly go into the system, you put in the key fields, and the data is instantly available to you. And again, the value of this data is it allows you to make better, more informed decisions. Also, by having good lot control, we allow you to know where a product is, where it came from, and where it was shipped to. This allows you to limit your scope in the event of a recall. And lastly, your traceability information is available within a few keystrokes so that if you do need to provide information on what was shipped or there's a mock recall going on, it's at your fingertips and available instantly. So Carol, can we talk a little bit more about how MyProduce enables compliance?
Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of discussion, everyone's seen it, of course, in all the newsletters and the online journals about FSMA, about compliance, about traceability, about the requirements of, you know, speed of reporting in the event of a recall or a suspected recall. MyProduce was designed to keep in mind that you're going to have to provide comply with these requirements going forward. You may not have to do it today, you may not have a customer requiring it today, but it will happen soon. So what we provide in MyProduce is complete inventory and traceability records that follow the product from the moment it arrives at your facility through the time that you ship it on to the next person. This includes the source lot and the pack lot, and it enables you to quickly identify any lot that may be suspected of having an issue. Not only are you able to identify lots, but you're able to tell, gosh, which customers got that lot, and who do I need to alert that they may need to sequester product from the market. Additionally, we can instantly give you a report that says, hey, you still have product from this lot on hand, and these are the locations where you put it away. You'd better go collect that stuff up. Print out a little report, give it to your forklift driver, and you are safely able to ensure that that product will not enter the marketplace. Most importantly, because we offer electronic reports, we're able to speed any traceability efforts. We have consignee reports, lot on hand reports, disposition reports. Virtually every report that may help enable you to safely conduct a recall is available within moments. And I want to emphasize, within moments. No more searching through paper files, file cabinets, no more sending your clerk scurrying around trying to find those details. Simply enter the pertinent dates or the pertinent lot number, and myproduce.com produces the reports for you instantaneously. And let's take a quick look at a little summary. You can see here we've got a wide variety of reports in topics ranging from traceability through audits, shipments, etc. And here's an example of one of the reports of shipments over time. And again, whether it's graphical data or whether it's data in charts, we also enable you to download, to export, to print, whether it's to Excel for further manipulation or to a PDF file that you can send along to perhaps someone else in your company who may need that information.
Okay, so let me wrap up with kind of what it costs here. And there's really kind of two subscriptions that we have. The first one is a packing and labeling subscription, and we have two offers there. One of them is a starter, which includes $120 a month, and that allows you to do all of your packing and compliance labeling. It will allow you to track your source lots coming into the system as well as the pack lots, and again, it has import and export capabilities, electronic records, and the production and traceability reports. The second one in this area is actually a 5-user system, and for $199 a month, you get the same things, and you just increase from 3 users to 5 users. We also have a full cycle subscription, and in the full cycle subscription, what we have is it's $399 a month for 5 users, and that includes all of the functionality that we talked about today, including the inventory management, the source lot and pack lot traceability, all of the labeling of bulk items coming in, cases being packed, pallets being put together, and ties those into your sales order. If you have a sales order that we can bring in, we'll do that. Otherwise, we actually have a sales order module, so you can create your own sales order. And then, again, we validate those orders on shipment, have all the electronic records, as well as a number of reports. And the last thing that I think is really important is the recall preparation, where we actually do some specific things in that area to help you identify what you've got on hand and what you need to do next. The last thing I wanted to address on this particular side is on the hardware side, one of our advantages is that we do provide the hardware as well. And you can purchase the items, you can lease the items, or if you're interested, you can actually rent the items. So now, Carol, let's talk about how do we sign up for a trial?
Sure. You know, we recognize at RedLine that making a decision on selecting a new software application to help you manage your business, it's a big deal. And so what we do is we let you take a trial run at it. No commitment and cost. You can just go to myproduce.com and fill out a form to request a trial. What happens next is we give you a call. We want to make sure that we understand your requirements, what hardware you might need, how many labels you might be printing, etc. We want to help enable you to make good choices, and we help get your data set up in the system. You can run with the trial for 30 days for free. And after that, of course, we hope that you like it and that you'll sign up with us moving forward. If you had questions about it, or if you wanted to have a further demo, see more of the system live, you can reach out to us at info@myproduce.com and ask us questions, and we'll be happy to schedule some time to chat with you. Now, when you're running a system like this, obviously, you know, there's a few minimum things you need, and I'm sure you've all figured out initially that you're going to need to have a computer. That's, you know, pretty mandatory for running software. You're also going to need internet access. This is a system that runs on the web. It's called cloud-based, or some people might have heard it called SaaS, which is software as a service. That's the type of system this is, where we manage what happens with the software and keep it running and up for you. So you'll need that PC, you'll need that internet access, and you're going to need a barcode printer with some labels. Depending on what type of labels you're going to print, you might decide it's easier to have more than one printer if you're going to have different sizes of labels that you're going to be running. Now, there's a couple optional accessories in a small system. One in the upper right is a simple barcode scanner, and you can see it's got a cable that just plugs right into your computer. What that lets you do is scan those barcodes while you're working on the web system to enter the data fast and accurately. Now, optionally, if you want to go around in the warehouse, you might choose the Android-based mobile system. You can see it's a mobile data capture down there in the lower left. It's got an application resident right there on the Android device. It's got a built-in barcode scanner, and it enables you to go around your warehouse, presupposing you have wireless capabilities that it can use to, again, connect to the internet. Now, if you had a large group of people and you wanted a more sophisticated system, you might have multiple forklift drivers, you might have more than one area in your cooler where you were doing this work, you might want to invest in more system. You might want to have a Bluetooth scanner, as you can see down in the lower left. This is a sort that doesn't require being cabled to your computer to still work with your PC. You might have an iPad, and you might be viewing reports and entering information on the iPad while you're, as I mentioned earlier, at home on the sofa, or grabbing coffee in the morning while you're talking to other growers in your area. You might have multiple barcode label printers, and you might have multiple of the mobile Android devices. Again, just running the client application, talking to the server, getting that information going. You'll see right there in the middle that AP, that's an access point. That's the heart of your wireless network. If you're not familiar with that type of system, again, RedLine's consulting services will help make sure that you have the coverage you need to run a good system and have all of this working properly throughout your operation.
So thank you for attending our session. We hope it was informative. If you have any questions regarding myproduce.com, please send an email to info@myproduce.com, or anything regarding the RedLine Produce Suite, please send an email to info@redlineforproduce.com.